Hello, everybody. You got me in Georgia. Brent Adams, how are you doing? Fast line, fast track. It's another Wednesday night. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a busy week around here this week, just trying to make heads or tails of it all. I kind of predicted, we were around April, May, and everybody was kind of backloading everything to the end of the year here. That October, November, and December were going to be relentless. And even though everything's still virtual, everything has been relentless, and it has just been crazy busy here.
It's definitely been a fact. It's been kind of a unique week for me, though. Yeah. Of course, you can see the background of this is Griggs Cotton in the background, but yeah, we've been cotton, and we got rained out today. Kelly and them got rained out yesterday, but we got rained out today. James Buckler, how are you doing tonight, my friend? But it's just been one of those weeks, where you're just kind of in a funk, but you're still trying to get through it.
Yeah, I've actually seen a few people comment on that this week, so it must be something in the air.
Oh, it's got to be. Look what I found. Hold on a second. Hold on. Look what I found. If it'll work, it won't work. Nicole. Oh, here we go. Nicole. We don't have no audio.
If you can just imagine that cow dancing the two-step, Bronco Brown, that's all you need to know.
Oh, it's been one. It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
But it's actually a pretty good night. Of course, we're getting rain here, and I'm not sure. We probably won't be back in the cotton tomorrow. I'm in the process. I know this is going to sound interesting. After I just finish this studio, I'm moving to a new studio.
There you go.
So, but today is Veterans Day. And we salute all the farmers that are veterans out there. And of course, you had a really neat show today.
Yeah, thank you. We had a lot of fun with it. Michael O'Gorman, who is the founder and chief agricultural officer for the Farmer Veteran Coalition, joined me this afternoon, and we talked about just kind of chronologically how that whole organization has come together. He kind of started it with an idea and a conversation back in 2007, and this thing, he just goes like a one rung of the ladder at a time here and just gets bigger and bigger. And one of the things that I found fascinating, you talk about Veterans Day, and everybody who watches this show probably knows I'm a proud Arizona State Sun Devil, and one of our favorite sons, Pat Tillman, is the guy who personifies service and sacrifice, everything he did walking away from a lucrative NFL career to go serve his country, and was killed in a friendly fire incident in Afghanistan. And, there's not a day if you touch anything with Arizona State that you don't hear Pat Tillman's name or see his image or something connected with that. And I found out through my research with this that his mother was one of the three women who attended that first meeting who had lost sons in either Iraq or Afghanistan, and was instrumental in the creation of Farmer Veteran Coalition. So a really cool tie there, and I guess still has some tangential involvement with it, but just amazing work there. They have got about 20,000 members, I believe, is the count there. But they've helped hundreds and thousands of farmers over the years. Veterans coming back looking for a purpose, looking for a place, and they get them connected with careers in agriculture. And they've gotten a lot of grants from the USDA and microloans and so forth to help farmers get on their feet. And a lot of mentorships and kind of business and finance type courses, because it's not just about working in the dirt. It's also about managing the business side of it, so that they try to give them the tools that they need to get things going on that end too. So just a tremendously impactful program there. So we had a good, well, it was supposed to be 30 minutes. It turned into almost an hour discussion just because there was so much there. And I know I told you offline today, I thought we were going to head that way. And we,
yeah, but I mean, when you get started with the conversation and you get started discussing that, it's not something that you can say, okay, we're done in a half hour. It's something you go into. You're having, it's a conversation you enjoy. You're just there. It's a good conversation.
And one of the cool things about that organization, though, is like I said, the more people he got in front of over the years, from the USDA to American Farm Bureau Federation and the National Farmers Union on down to the manufacturers and so many people that every time they heard about this, they're like, yes, this makes so much sense, that they wanted to throw support behind it. So, it's just grown by leaps and bounds here. And it's really cool to see all the work they're doing. And they've also got their Homegrown by Heroes product program, which is in all 50 states. You see the logo on a lot of different products, and that has actually born here in Kentucky and then moved outward. So it was kind of cool. Today's actually the 7th anniversary of the announcement of that program. So to see that thing has expanded the way it has across all 50 states is really neat to see. And then they've got their Farmer Veterans Stakeholder Conference, which is going to be next week, Wednesday and Thursday. If you listen to the show today, or if you have any kind of inkling or know anybody who might be interested in participating or be a candidate for being assisted by Farmer Veteran Coalition, I'd urge you to get on their website, which is farmervetco.org. Go check those guys out and all the great work they're doing, because it's definitely worth your time. And even if you can find some way to be a financial supporter, volunteer your services or equipment or whatever that you have to volunteer, definitely an organization worth getting behind.
Oh, by all means. I mean, and look at the things they have accomplished.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And, one of the reasons I'm passionate about it, you see my T-shirt here, VetLinks organization that I do some work with out of Nashville. Probably one of the biggest disappointments and regrets I have in my life is that I didn't serve. My father, grandfather, great-grandfather all served. I took a different path, and at that time seemed like the thing I wanted to do. But the more I look back on it, the more I wish I would have. But, that ship has sailed now. So anytime I can get behind an organization and kind of help them further their message, to help veterans, because, in working with some of these veterans groups over the years, and also done some work with Stand Down as well. The one thing that you see is that a lot of times, our country's great about recruiting people and sending them off places, and then kind of coming back and letting them go to their own devices, and not giving them the support they need to reacclimate to civilian life. A lot of times they come back with physical or emotional issues that they have trouble dealing with, and for one reason or another, having trouble jumping into the job world or whatever. So when I see something great being done here by organizations like Farmer Veteran Coalition, and I'm all over it. I think it's just awesome. I'm glad to see the support that they're getting. And, one of the things that he brought up too is not just a matter of, helping veterans to connect with jobs in the agriculture industry, but it's also about, helping put more farmers into the industry at a time when the number of farmers is dwindling, and we all still need to eat. We all still need clothes. People still need to do these jobs. So, it's kind of bringing forth a new crop of farmers.
Yeah. And it is, some of their programs are really cool too.
Yeah, no question. And again, they're getting a lot of support from manufacturers like Kubota that are donating equipment, all kinds of training. Pretty much anything that you have questions about, they can hook you up with somebody who can answer those questions. And, it's neat to see that farmers by nature are busy, and some share more than others, but when they actually will put themselves out there to share for the good of the development of a new farmer. I think that's pretty exciting stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't necessarily, their programs don't always go to big farms. A lot
No.
of it is smaller people with 5-10 acres. And it's programs that helps them get started in a self-sustainability, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I know that's something that they're really sensitive of, because I know every farmer's big concern is, hey, can I make a go of this next year and the next year and the next year? And there's always a concern of, you don't want to set somebody up for failure that's already coming in kind of sensitive as a result of some of what they've dealt with in their military career. So you want them to be successful and not have to, come into something and fail and have to have that on their shoulders too. So they put a lot of support systems in place to try to make these people successful. So when they come in, it's not just, okay, well, here, we're going to set you up and we're going to walk away from it.
Yeah. They're not, they are once they get started with you, they're with you for the long haul.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what's really interesting is to see all the development of the state chapters as well. And I know talking to the founder there, that was something that he's very passionate about too, is the development of those. So it's not just all funneled out from just one location in California, but you've got boots on the ground, so to speak, in many different states, and they can help spearhead things, because every state looks a little bit different agriculturally.
Every state's absolutely different. Every state is.
Yeah.
So they, and that's the cool thing, is they are adapting. They adapt for every location. Well, got another question for you. What shows are left for the year that are not virtual?
Well, I tell you what, it's interesting you asked that, because I was just running through this list in my mind before we got on the air here. As far as I know, well, there's a couple. I think there's one still going on in Tulsa, which is a pretty big one. That's in December. And also the Nebraska Ag Expo, which is out in Lincoln. It used to be the Nebraska Power Farming Show. They changed the name of that to mirror their Iowa show, which they also operate. It is still going, and we've had discussions about going out there. And I'll be honest with you, and people can say what they want at this point, but I'm kind of on the fence about it right at the moment, to be honest with you, especially after just coming back here into the studio after listening to the news tonight and seeing the spike in cases and kind of some of the predictions over the next 2 to 3 weeks here. Man, I mean, I know everybody wants to get to it, and I want to get to it worse than anybody. Hell, I've been in my basement since March 20th. I'm ready to get out, back with the world again. You understand? I was in 18 different states with this show last year, and we were traveling constantly, and it was a lot of fun getting to meet people, getting to get in front of new folks and network and learn about products and services and so forth. But I think there's still, at this point, it has to be some prudence too, because you still don't have a vaccine. If I hadn't seen it affect people I know directly, from getting sick and also losing family members, I might feel differently about it. But it's still a tough call,
and I think better safe than sorry. Eric Reed, I see you're on here. Did you finally finish up to where you can switch to something else? I think they got rain. Eric, y'all got rain yesterday where we're getting it today. I think Eric and them got rain yesterday or the day before, and we're stuck with it. But now I saw some posts earlier today that they were getting it like 3 inches down south. But back to the shows real quick. Yeah, I know, squirrel. I got off sidetrack.
That's okay. I'm glad to see Eric's on there. I know it's been a tough week. It's been a tough season for him, but tough week for him and his fellow Corn Warriors competitor Corey Atley, who had a dryer fire this week and had a little bit of a catastrophe there. So, and thinking about those guys, I know that's a tough deal there. But
How much damage did he have from that fire?
It looked like the dryer motor itself was destroyed. I'm not sure about any kind of crop damage or other physical damage. I know it took a couple of departments getting there pretty quick to make sure it wasn't a worse disaster than it was. So, and kudos to them. But it was just one of those freak things, and somebody just happened to be driving by and caught it and was able to alert them in time before it got worse. But
absolutely. And Eric, how's your cotton looking, Eric? You guys, I know you guys have worked hard not only on the corn, but you've worked hard on your cotton, very hard. How is it looking right now? This is a great time of year for all of us, but it's also a hard time of year.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't realize that we're struggling. We're struggling in a big way. I mean, we've been running daylight to dark on cotton. Some of the cotton looked good, some of it didn't, and it's just been a rough year for all of us. I know Eric and them have had a rough year. Look at me. Now, I'm talking about long days, and look.
Yeah, there you go. Proof positive.
We got rained out today, and I'm sure by the looks of the rain that we've got tonight, we're going to be rained out again tomorrow. So, where we were hoping to be finished this week with cotton, we'll be lucky to be finished the middle of next week. Hi, Mary. But they've got now. Did they finally make the announcement on National Farm Machinery Show, or is it still up in the air?
No, it's still up in the air right now, as far as I know. And I'm hoping we can get some clarity on that one pretty soon. I've not gotten anything official. I kind of understand they've been doing some surveying of some folks to kind of get a sense for what their level of comfort would be if they did an in-person show. So I don't know, read into that what you want to right now. I have not heard anything more. I know we know for definite Commodity Classic is going virtual, and that's a big bummer. And I was looking forward to going back to
I was looking forward to San Antonio.
Man, we had a great time there this last year, and I was looking forward to getting back there. The American Farm Bureau Federation's convention is gone virtual. That was going to be in San Diego, so I was really, really looking forward to getting to head on out there. That's not going to happen, and you look at some of these other ones. The last domino really to fall is going to be National Farm Machinery Show. We're doing some work with World Ag Expo. Had a meeting with those folks this week late last week to see what that's going to look like here, because they're doing it a little bit differently. It's not just going to be like with some of these you see like a 2 or 3 day run of live events. They're going to do stuff throughout the next calendar year, leading up to the 2022 show. So stay tuned on that, because we've got some things we're cooking up for that. That's going to be pretty interesting. But then we're also waiting on National Farm Machinery. So a lot there. I know.
I did hear that if they did the show, the tractor pull would be off. They weren't going to do that. I did hear that.
It's a tough thing. Kentucky is one of those states too, where they've kind of gone ahead with certain events where other states have backed off. Like they had a state fair, but it was only for exhibitors. And right now, the International Livestock Expo is going on right now, but that's only for exhibitors. But you can't do that with a farm show. I mean, it's kind of a moot point to have it without a crowd. You need them there, because that's the whole reason for it,
Yeah, but they did have their livestock show was exceptional from what I heard.
Yeah,
even though it was only participants themselves allowed.
Yeah, and that's still going on for about another week out at the Kentucky Exposition Center. Big doings out there, and that's always big. It's big, and they always have the rodeo out there and all that. And it's tough to see any of that changed.
Now, did you see what James just texted in or messaged in? Some people already have their tractor pull tickets.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be another huge issue here that I guess they're going to have to deal with. And And that's the thing. We talk about everybody needing to plan to get exhibits ready. Everything they need to order to have everything in
Yeah.
place. But you got all the pullers. I mean, they're trying to shoot for that too. So everybody wants to just know, so they know how to proceed here. And now, what you're also left with here, we're only a couple of weeks away from Thanksgiving and only a few weeks away from Christmas. So everything, you kind of take the holidays out of the mix and you get through the holidays, and you've only got about 6 weeks to get everything in order. So
Yeah,
now is the time, I know, for us,
and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get the tractors, the pullers, to get their tractors ready.
Yeah, so now is the time when we really kind of hammer down at our place to start. We do a big show book. It's about 300 pages every year, and try to get all that stuff together. That really begins in earnest in late October, early November. So they're still kind of cranking on that, even though we don't know which way we're going. And, trying to because of all the shows, I mean, we do our biggest splash of the year there. So it's, and just a lot of moving pieces and not knowing. And the other part is, okay, well, if we're heading up to the line there thinking that we're going to do it one way, and then we have to shift on a dime and do something else, especially virtual, that we haven't done before, then you got to start from square one and figure all that out too. So yeah. I don't know,
well,
man.
And that's the thing. That'll be a unique show if they take it virtual.
Yeah, well, and that's one of those things we're going to have to start planning pretty soon if that's the case, because there's a lot that's going to have to go into that too. We're talking about that Tulsa show. I see here looks like it's still on right now, December 10th, 11th, and 12th in Tulsa, and that's one of the bigger ones out that way. So that's still a go, and the Nebraska shows around that same time. It's like the 8th through the 10th, I believe, or the 7th through the 10th, somewhere in that neighborhood. So both of those in that early December timeframe. Then you've got shows like Fort Wayne, which I understand, as far as we know, is still on. That's in early January. So still waiting to see. I mean, all this stuff is subject to change. Look, I was just looking at the news earlier, and I'm in southern Indiana, and the Indiana governor today just announced he was going to walk back some of these things here, and they're going to start clamping down on gathering sizes and so forth. And if this thing gets out of control between now and then, man, all bets are off. And Kentucky's the same way. Their governors kind of showed that he's one that wants to kind of be out front of all this stuff. So I mean, there's so much still to be determined here in the next few weeks.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just going to be, we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I'm chomping at the bit to get out again.
I'm ready for some show. I was hoping upon all hopes that Commodity Classic and National Farm Machinery Show would be go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And now I start to look down the line to some of those shows like I3 out in Dodge City, Kansas, and the Wisconsin Public Service shows, because those were a couple of the first ones to fall last year. As a matter of fact, I mean, we had our bags packed, ready to go to a Wisconsin Public Service when they pulled the plug on that one, and that was a real disappointment. I know the folks out there in Dodge City weren't happy to have to do that, but that they did what they knew they needed to do at that time. So now you're talking about the possibility of them having to lose their second show in a row to this stuff here. So man, it's
I mean, but what are we going to do? I mean,
there's not much you can do. I know everybody from a exhibitor standpoint has tried to shift gears as best as possible. And, of course, the manufacturers with deeper pockets and more resources have been able to, shift a little bit better than, some of the smaller exhibitors that can't really put together big, flashy, multimedia presentations and throw stuff online and do, AutoCAD, walk-arounds of equipment and stuff like that, because they just don't have the resources. So, they're trying to do that the best they can.
Yep. And that people don't realize what it takes to do a virtual show.
Yeah. Well, there's some of those, I just know in doing the work with the Farm Science Review, the folks at the Ohio State University put a lot of time and effort into getting that thing off the ground here back in September. And of course, they had the resources of the university, a lot of really bright people and well-funded we're able to adapt some of the stuff they were already doing for the classrooms to make that work. But again, it's going to be different for a lot of people yet. I would still think for the better part of 2021.
I think we're going to, the Farm Life Cruise, we've got some changes being made in it. And we're going to have to make some changes with with the cruise because everything is still not released yet. Eric, you're right. So, and that's, it is, well, Eric says 2020 go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely, I think this whole next year, we're going to be discussing some of these same issues.
Yeah. I would
this
say
time
that
next year.
we may be begging 2020 to take 2021 with it because I don't see it a whole lot better.
Watch this. Hi, Nicole.
How do you?
Hey, don't do that to me. So you put me on and then you shut me off before I could say anything? That is just rude, okay? What if I was over here like picking my nose or something?
Well, no, I was watching. You didn't see it earlier when I did it. I flipped you up earlier and you were doing like this or something or whatever. And I'm just like, all right. So I reached over and brought you up and it was not enough time that you could catch it.
Well, because see, I have another tab open because I was making this image as you were saying that the cruise was canceled. And I'm like, how am I supposed to get this stuff done when you don't give me a heads up of what you need?
Tell us what you know about the cruise so far.
Well, we were given some options. We could have moved. Sorry, it's really loud here. This is why I'm not on the live. We were given some options that we could either move the cruise or we could postpone it to later in the year. But the general consensus was to just keep the same dates and move it to 2022 when all of this can hopefully go away. And then we don't have to worry about everybody who had already signed up miss out because moving it to summer doesn't work. Not for farmers.
No, it doesn't. We're going to have to do it during the winter because we've got cotton, we got corn, we've got, everything at that time. We don't have much choice.
Yeah. And so I'm super disappointed, man. I was ready to bring my translucent self out into the sun, but it's just not going to happen this year.
Now you got another year to work on that tan.
Yeah, and my bikini body, because we've all procrastinated.
Mine too.
Yeah. So no, I'm disappointed that it's not going to.
But will be in at least we need to have a widescreen footage for that one for Walrus Vision for me.
Walrus Vision. Yeah. So disappointing, but you know what? We've been disappointed enough by 2020. So what's another thing at this point?
What's new? I mean, literally, what next? I'm surprised. I honestly was thinking we were going to have a meteor hit us before 2020 was over.
No, it's not over yet. I don't got anything wood to knock on, but the amount of crazy things that's happened this year is completely insane. Like on Farm Life, I shared the post about the hunter who found an alligator in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got one better for you. I got a call today from BBC wanting me to shoot some video for them and upload to them from the Chick-fil-A across the street from my house.
How did they find you? And how do they know Well, I guess I probably know the answer to this, but
there was a lady, and I will not mention names, but I absolutely know this person that went in every day for a week and got free food saying that she was a federal agent.
that works.
So when they cut her off and said no, she started screaming and threatening to arrest everybody in the restaurant.
How does that even?
Oh, no, it gets better. When the cops got there, when the Rockmart Police Department got there and were arresting her, she was talking into her bra and telling her bra what was going on.
She have like speakers added? Like speaker
That-
implants?
Now, with everything we've had happening here, that made world news.
And you just had a murder there not too long ago. So that's
Yes.
saying something.
That said it right there.
Oh, my kids are eating supper right now. Like I said, I
Wait,
wasn't.
hold on, wait a minute, hold on. What does eating supper have to do with a plane crash and an explosion?
I think she was howling like a coyote. Yeah, this is why I go to grandma's house on live nights. But my mom and dad both have COVID, so I can't. So
Well, why not? I mean, you know.
yeah, while we're at it, might as well, right? Yeah, did you hear about the mink farmers? All in Denmark, they're killing like millions of mink on all of the mink farms because of this crazy COVID mutation that the mink have, I don't know, gotten into. And then I think 14 people came down with this mutation that's completely resistant to like all other treatments. So just out of like out of excess caution, they're like killing all of the mink so that it can't spread any further. But
That's a very 2020 headline right there.
I'm like, how do we even, you know, we started out with bingo cards back in February, and I there's not enough room. We need a bigger word than bingo because we don't have enough columns for all of the things that have happened this year.
No joke.
Yeah.
Well, it's just another one of those nights. Kelly and Matt finished up cotton today, though.
That's good. They've needed a break. Well, I mean, they still have 500 acres of beans, but they needed a
We're down to 240 acres. Well, a little less of 240 acres of cotton, and then we're done.
Hey, we have no acres left.
No, but you have glazed donuts that you have to feed the bunnies.
Oh, yes. So next week. Do you still have those? I can show them.
They're right there beside you.
Oh, they are right beside me. Next week, my selfie-loving husband has agreed to have a glazed donut eating contest with our bunnies. And we're going to live it. So that should be interesting. We read the ingredients to this, and it actually sounds kind of good. I mean, you know, if you're a bunny. But yes, he is going. He's going to join Bunny and Reginald. Those are our two bunnies. Yes, our children named our bunny because our kids are terrible at naming animals. If you have a child or know of somebody who has a terrible animal name, feel free to comment it so we can laugh because my kids cannot name animals. We had like
a cat Brick once.
no, we had a cat named Bucket.
Oh.
We've had We had 4 Elsies at the same time on the farm. We had Elsie the horse. We had Elsie the puppy that had died. We had Elsie a bunny, and we had Elsie. Oh, they tried to name the cat Elsie, and I said no. We cannot name. No, we have 4
But
things.
not one of the cows was named Elsie.
At that time we only had 2 cows, and they were both named. So, but if we had a cow, I bet they would have tried to name it Elsie. I'm like, what? Can't you pick a different name? I mean, there's I don't know how many Disney characters in the world. Like, pick one. Anything would be better than Bucket. I guess I can't say much because when I was a kid, I had a cat named because we had 3 cats and they were Winnie, and Pooh because we thought we were cats. So I guess I can't talk, but it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. What about you, Brent? Do you have any animals with weird names?
No, we don't have any animals, period. None.
Except children?
Yeah.
Or just the children animal?
I've got 5 kids. That's all the animals I can handle right now.
Me too. I got 5 too.
Plenty.
That's why it's so loud here.
They even look like donuts.
Yes, they even look like donuts, RJ. He's over here
Now
sniffing.
here's the question: is RJ going to eat one with the bunnies?
Yeah, he said he would.
How do they smell?
They do smell good.
If we get enough people,
They smell like cookies.
Nicole,
Eat one, see what it tastes like.
See, they're like little donuts. Aren't they adorable? I don't know. Do these have dye in them?
probably not.
Titanium dioxide for color.
Oh, that sounds like that'll be good for me.
Well, as long as it doesn't have dye in it, I suppose I could eat one.
Titanium dioxide is
Oh, we gotta wait till next week. Though I am curious because they do smell good.
titanium dioxide is dirt. They use it- that is the pigment for automotive paint.
Yep.
That does come from Thailand. So,
Pigment white 6.
you want to eat one?
No.
Are you sure? It's like a cookie.
No.
I can leave these on the counter and the kids will eat them all.
No.
You sure?
No. That's my bunny.
No, it just has a bunny on the pig on the bag.
That's my bunny.
Well, you eat Scooby snacks and there's a dog on that box. Got you there.
I never done that.
Yeah, you did. Actually, that was a funny story. Not this year for 4-H. Last year for 4-H, we were at the bunny show, and there was a little girl there who had Scooby snacks. And I'm a cheap mom, and I get off-brand stuff, and so my kids have not had Scooby snacks, and so she's sitting in the stands, and we're waiting for my other daughter's turn to show, and this little girl was eating Scooby snacks. And Allie knocks it out of her hand and goes, "That's dog food! Don't eat that!" And it caused a huge scene, and it was really funny. And then I felt bad that my kids were like deprived of knowing what a Scooby snack is.
Well, RJ didn't know what Huddle House was, but he got to see Huddle House.
We don't have any Huddle Houses up here. How are we supposed to know that?
Next time we're going to Waffle House.
Mommy, okay.
Well, we couldn't find a Waffle House. We would have had to go on an additional 200 miles to get to Waffle House.
Yeah, next time we'll have to go to Waffle House. But we saw 5 of them on the way home when we were
Are you
driving.
serious?
Yeah, there was one in Kansas City, I think, that we passed.
Mhm.
That was the closest one I think we saw.
No, there's one right across the border in Missouri.
Oh, there's one right across the border into Missouri. So I guess we don't have to go very far to go to Waffle House.
Boy, we've got about 3 of them in about a 10-minute drive of here.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
No, I prefer Runza, but
What?
you can't get waffles at Runza. I prefer that chain store.
What is Runza?
Allie,
You've never had Runza?
No.
Brandon, you need to come up here and I will
it's a cabbage hamburger wrap.
it's Runza is a restaurant here in Nebraska that they have what's called Runzas, but they have like a sweet dough and it's wrapped around like meat with like cabbage and spices and stuff. And so it's like I don't know, like a pocket kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
Like an egg roll.
No.
It's like a sandwich.
It's like a sandwich with a bun on it, but the bun completely covers all the meat. If that makes sense. I'm failing at describing this. Honestly, that's not even what I eat at Runza. What I eat is a mushroom Swiss burger.
Hold it. You're describing a food that you don't even eat.
Their hamburgers are really good too. I just tend not to eat the Runzas because, well, one, I'm a very impatient person, and when you bite into a Runza, it's like lava. So I prefer to just eat something that cools off faster. But no, the best invention that they have though is actually their frings. So they take French fries
Right.
and they take onion rings and put them together.
What is a fring? A fring.
A fring. It's fries and onion rings put together in the same little pouch. That's what a fring is, and it's amazing because I'm an indecisive person. I want fries, but I want onion rings too, but I don't want to order them both because we're cheap here in Nebraska, and that would seem stupid. So you order frings, and they shove like 2 onion rings in the bottom of the little French fry bag, and then they fill it up with French fries, and then they throw like 5 onion rings on the top. It's the best of both worlds. It's amazing. I love that. And the best thing about it,
the Jose half of the Jose and Lupita show just made a motion that we change the name to Food Life on Wednesday nights.
well, if I knew we were going to talk about Runza, I would have uploaded a picture, but unfortunately, I don't have Dustin here to start telling me that I'm putting pictures up 3 seconds before he wants the picture. So, but I'll have to find one. But the best thing about Runza too is their iced tea, which does not have sugar in it unless you ask. Like
Then
normal,
why would you get tea if it was not sweet tea?
because tea is just tea. If you want sweet tea, they will sweeten it for you, but tea is just tea. I can say I would like an iced tea, and no one asks me if they want it sweet because they know that if I want it sweet, I would have asked for sweet tea because we're smart like that here. So
No. Sweet tea will always be the prime drink.
but it's sweet tea. I didn't ask for sweet tea. I asked for tea.
Thank you, Zach. Zach said you're going down that same rabbit hole again. We've done this once before, and we all won. You were the sole person that did not like sweet tea.
Surely someone from Nebraska here is watching, and they can back me up that sweet tea is gross.
Eric Reed, what is your preference? Sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Megan, what side are you on? And Johnny, I don't know if you're still watching, but man, some people. Yes, thank you, Megan. Megan agrees. See, she agrees. She spelled my name wrong, but she agrees.
I like both.
He already said that, so that doesn't count. But the other thing too, Runza has, it's amazing. And by the way, we are not sponsored by Runza in any way. I'm just a fan. Free advertising.
But if they want to jump on board,
Yeah, if they want to jump on board,
Hey, we are game. We would take them as a sponsor if they would like to join.
also
can throw a
Waffle
logo
House, Huddle House,
that's fine.
Look,
Chick-fil-A.
Zach, oh, that was not necessary. Unsweetened tea is dirt mixed in a glass of water. Unsweetened tea is leaves mixed in a glass of water, but
Yeah, dirty leaves.
dirty leaves. Whose side are you on? Yeah. But no, the other amazing thing that they have is their ranch. I don't know why their ranch dressing tastes so amazing, but it is like nothing. I wish I could buy it by the gallon and just take it home. So, hey, James agrees with me. See, Brandon, I think I'm winning this round.
If we get enough people on the live next week.
James is he's for
Buc-ee's
Buc-ee's
is.
is better than them, all of them.
I don't think we have a Buc-ee's here. Megan, where are you from?
That's a Texas thing there.
Thank you, Dwight. See, somebody agrees with me.
No, I'm not gonna click on him. Oh, see, nope, he don't agree. All right. You have 2 and I have 2. So we need one more person to comment, and then we'll be done with this.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on.
Next
Hold
person
it.
decides.
Brent.
Yep.
Oh, Brent.
Yep. Oh,
Sweet tea or
you give me to weigh in, huh?
sweet tea or unsweet?
Well, I tell you, I'm not going to be much of a tiebreaker because I like them both. You know, it just depends on the mood I'm in, and I do like them both. And I'm going to throw another one at you, an Arnold Palmer. You know,
Yes.
mix
Thank
some
you.
lemonade in there.
I don't mind an Arnold Palmer, but because of my dye allergy, lemonade will kill me if it's fake. So I just avoid lemonade at all costs. So,
Understandable.
yep.
Why? I've got some dropout in my video. I got to figure that one out. Anyway, what?
I wasn't even supposed to be here, so this is all you, Brandon.
He pushed the button. There you go.
I'm sure now I can do that. You're mean. See if I produce your shows anymore.
See if you do what?
Produce your shows anymore.
You love them.
I'm in the background doing all the work. And here you're taking advantage of me by sticking me on.
You are the best at what you do. Well, I'm tired. It's been a long week. I'm fixing to go crash.
I see how it is. You just want to log out before anybody else sides with me and win. I win the
Oh, who? No, wait a minute. Hold on. What are they doing? What'd you get? You got a text message. What did they say?
I was getting a phone call from someone. I don't know what that is.
Peanuts are almost done, Zach. Believe it or not, there's still a little bit left, but most of them are done. So, Zach, who's going to start picking beans by hand, you or Kelly? Could you imagine that, having to go pick soybeans by hand?
That would take forever. That's probably why our ancestors didn't really eat soy that much. I mean, because if you're going to put that much work into picking something, it should at least be delicious, like strawberries.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right?
You're right about that one.
Yeah. If you're going to put
If I'm going to pick something good, it's definitely going to be. I'm the designated truck driver.
Yes.
Ah,
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya is always on my side.
Yes, Arnold Palmer with unsweet. That's the way to go.
It has been.
that is
decided.
disgusting.
It has been decided. Thank you, Tanya. The voting has ended.
That is disgusting. Just saying.
Nope.
James, anyway, guys, I know we're getting out of here a little bit early, but it's been a long day for me, and I'm sure we've all had a long week. And hopefully next week we'll have some fun watching RJ eat
It is.
bunny
It is donut contest.
bunny donuts. So,
But they
Brent
do smell
Adams-
delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I know. Brent Adams of Fast Line Fast Track. What you got the rest of this week?
Well, I tell you what, after we get off here, I'm going to go grab a little dinner. Then I got to get cracking on the podcast and radio show for this week here. We had all these lives I got a little behind. So it's going to be a salute to veterans this week. We're going to have some more of our conversation here with our buddy here from the Farmer Veterans Coalition here, Michael O'Gorman. And then I've got some of the audio from JT Cooper, who was in the Black Hawk Down, not the movie, but the real deal.
The real deal.
So we got that on there, as well as Jenny Lee Miller, who's a newer artist out of Nashville. We had her on a live stream last night. Got a new song called God and Country out. Just came out last Friday. A salute to veterans. She an interesting story. She is Nashville by way of Connecticut, and she's a former Army intelligence officer. So she had a really neat perspective on service and so forth. So got all that for this week. And then I've got to crank and work on next week's, because next week is the virtual Ag Media Summit and also NAFB convention back to back. So my whole week next week is going to be spent doing conventions. Both of those were supposed to be back to back in Kansas City next week. Instead, both going to be from my basement. So we're going to be doing a lot of virtual interviews and so forth, and kind of connecting with some of the bigger players in agriculture, doing one-on-one interviews and collecting a lot of content that kind of gets us through the next few weeks here as people start to disappear for the holidays. So be doing a lot of that. And then, next week we're going to have more of our discussion with Kurt Coffey with Case IH, and also Justin Blanchette, who is with AHW, the big John Deere dealership out of Illinois and Indiana. We're going to be talking innovation. He's a precision ag business manager. And, we talk a lot about telematics and remote support capabilities and data transfer and security and so forth. So a lot to do with tech on that next episode 81. So be working on that this weekend so I can do the conference thing next week and then get ready for Thanksgiving.
Oh boy.
Also, we got another big a couple live streams coming up. Colt Barber, the Nashville recording artist and producer, and Colt Barber's American Cowboy Showdown and so forth, going to be on live stream at 11 a.m., 10 o'clock Central, 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday. And then Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, bringing the ladies from American Blonde, formerly Southern Halo. They're a great group. They were founded by Jeff Clark of Alabama. Found them and produced some of their early music, and a great success story. They've been doing it about 10 years now, and just went through a name change, and which was partially introduced last week on our socials. So excited about that. They've got another big announcement this week, but I'm sworn to secrecy on that. So make sure you come back for the live on that. Again, that's going to be Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern over on our Facebook page. So a lot of stuff going on here in the next week or so. Just trying to wind down the year and get ready for 2021, and trying to bring some positivity to it too. We sit here and we talk about how everybody's kind of worn down and everything here. That's something I really focused on trying to do here with this show and the lives and everything is trying to bring an air of positivity about it, because I think we all need that right now.
And we do. We all need it bad. Well, Nicole, what do you have to add?
What do I have to add? We just had a whole bunch of ice and snow lately, and so everything's kind of been a mess. I was really angry earlier before the live. Our power company decided to cut half of my windbreak down, and they took the top half of all my trees.
They left you the top half of all of your trees in your driveway.
Yes, a giant pile of mulch. About, I don't know how
So
many
if
are.
you glue them back together, you can create your tree back.
We had probably 30 yards of mulch from all the trees they cut down in our driveway. And I was not happy because you can literally see through my windbreak now.
Yeah.
From all, because the trees were over 50 years old, and by cutting the tops off, all of the bottom branches were pretty much dead. So now I have like nothing, and I was not a happy person when I was texting Brandon as I drove into my driveway. Where's my windbreak?
Oh, geez.
And they weren't even touching the wire. Just makes me mad. I realized that, things need trimming. Okay. But cut a couple branches off. Don't cut the whole half of the tree off.
At least they left you half.
Yeah, the dead half. So now we're gonna have to bulldoze all our windbreak out, and it gets cold here in Nebraska. And just north of us is a very, very flat field. So about a mile worth of field just straight north of us. So all of that wind comes straight to our house, and it is what it is. But yeah,
Just
What were we saying about bringing positivity to things here? What can we do to lighten the mood here, to cheer you up?
Well, gang, on behalf of myself, Concept Agritech, Fastline Fast Track, and Gateway Seed, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. And we'll be back next week. Plus, Brent Adams and Fastline Fast Track, their podcast out on Friday morning.
Yep. Go check it
Everybody
out.
else. Yep. You guys have a great night, a great week, and we'll see you guys later.
All right.
See y'all.